Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's live episode of Bonkers.ie TV, where we're all about smarter money and keeping you updated on everything that's happening in the world of personal finance and consumer affairs. I'm Dara, and this week, with the run up to Christmas, we're going to talk to you about some energy saving tips that you can make and do around the home to use less energy over the Christmas period. Because if there's one thing you don't want to overpay on over Christmas, it's your energy. So even if your credit card bill is going to leave a bit of a dent in your pocket coming up to Christmas, hopefully your energy bills won't. So our first simple step for reducing your energy bill is to look at investing in LED light bulbs. So I know we talk about these a lot at Bonkers.ie, but it's amazing how many people still use the other halogen standard bulbs. So LED light bulbs are great for two reasons. First of all, they last way longer than a standard light bulb. So a standard light bulb, a halogen light bulb, lasts for around maybe 2 or 3 years if you're lucky, depending on usage, whereas an LED light bulb can last up to 10 or 20 years. So even though the light bulb might cost a little bit more to buy, it'll last way longer. The next great thing about LED light bulbs is that they use less energy. So an LED light bulb only uses around 20% of the energy compared to a normal light bulb. And what this means is that if you were to change one light bulb in your house, you would save €7 worth of electricity over the course of a year. Now, if you were to change then all of the light bulbs in your house, maybe 10 light bulbs, let's say, that's around 60 or 70 euros worth of electricity, or €100 worth, sorry, of electricity that you will save. So it really is worthwhile investing in LED light bulbs, as you'll save money, and obviously they'll last longer as well. Now this applies to Christmas lights and fairy lights as well. Previously LED light bulbs weren't great at changing color, they couldn't flash, they couldn't dim, so all of the things that you would associate with Christmas lights. But the technology has improved over the past few years, and now you can get LED Christmas lights which will do all of those things. So the chances are though that if you do have old lights up in the attic that you're about to take down for Christmas, they're unlikely to be LED efficient lights. So now's the time to go out and replace them. It'll be good for your pocket, and it'll also be good for the environment. So our next tip on reducing energy is to look at submitting a meter reading over the Christmas period. So most people would agree that you shouldn't have to pay for what you don't use, but if you don't submit a meter reading and you have an estimated bill, that's actually what you're doing. So it's really important that every billing cycle, so every 2 months, you submit a meter reading to your energy supplier so that you're only being charged for the electricity or the gas that you've actually used. It's really simple and easy to submit a meter reading. It can usually be done by text or online, and if you don't have a text reminder, contact your energy supplier, as they should be able to set one up for you. Now, in order to get at your meter box to submit a meter reading, you will need one of these, a meter reading key. If you don't have one, just get in touch with us at Bonkers.ie and we can send one out for you. And it's really important, I guess, if you're going away for the Christmas, or if you're going on holidays, or you're not going to be in the house for a long period of time, because that will mean that your energy usage will go down. And if you have an estimated bill, well, the energy supplier isn't necessarily going to know that you weren't there for those few days, so they'll really charge you, a lot more than what you should be charged for. So our next tip is to turn down the thermostat by 1 degree if you can. So a lot of people forget to do this, but it is a really good tip. If you turn down your thermostat by just 1 degree, you can save around maybe 5 or 10% on your energy costs. And particularly over Christmas, with fires being lit, candles being lit, lots of people in and around the home, our homes tend to be a little bit warmer than they might naturally be anyway. So if there is a time where it's a good time to reduce your bills and to turn down the thermostat, it is over Christmas. Our next tip then is to, as we call it, cooking clever. So again, these are little things that you can do that will reduce your energy usage and hopefully save a little bit on your bill. So one thing to remember to do is when you're cooking the Christmas turkey or the Christmas ham or whatever it is, to turn off the oven around 5 or 10 minutes before you're actually due to finish, as the oven will keep the exact same heat for around 5 or 10 minutes after you've switched it off. So you're just wasting electricity and energy if you keep it on. And a cooker is actually a huge drain of or of resource or electricity. In most households, the cooker is actually the most expensive appliance to run. People think it's often the electric shower, but because we use our cookers for longer, it's actually the cooker that often uses the most amount of electricity and costs the most. So you do need to look at a few tips that you can make there. Another tip as well is that rather than let the air cool within the oven, keep it open so you can heat your kitchen with some of the heat as it escapes. Also, when you're accessing your freezer to get maybe the Brussels sprouts or the peas, try and open and close the fridge door as quick as possible. For every 10 to 15 seconds that a fridge is open, it actually takes around 40 to 45 minutes for the fridge to cool back and for the freezer to cool back to the same temperature it was beforehand. And in order for it to cool back, it needs to use a huge amount of energy. So if you keep on opening and closing the fridge constantly to get at frozen goods, you're just going to end up using way more electricity than you needed to use. So our next tip then, tip number 5, is to insert timers for your Christmas lights and plugs around the house. So you can get these timers really, really cheaply in lots of shops and lots of hardware stores. And as the name suggests, they are a timer that will time your lights to go on at a certain time. So it means that you're not wasting electricity by having maybe lights on when you've left the house. And they also work really well as a security feature. So if you're not going to be home late at night, but you still want lights to be on for an hour or two to make it look like someone is at home, these can be a really, really nifty feature. Security plugs or timing plugs only cost around maybe, like I said, €5 if even, and they can be great from a security as well as an energy saving point of view. The next point is to think smart and invest in a smart thermostat. So again, this is something that we talk about a lot at bonkers.ie, and there are some good deals at the moment with some of the energy suppliers. SSE have a deal at the moment where they're giving away some smart thermostats with some of their energy plans, so that might be something that might be worth checking out. And like all smart devices, what a smart thermostat allows you to do is to control your heating from the home. So let's say you're going to be late home from work, you can set your heating to come on at a later time so that you're not heating your house when you're not there. They can be a little bit expensive to buy. There is an upfront cost. Some of them might cost around €200 or €300, but there's lots of choice and the price has come down. And like I said, they add convenience and they also add savings to your pocket as well. And like I said, there's also that deal with SSE at the moment where you can get a free smart thermostat with some of their energy price plans. The next tip number 7, is to pull the plug. So this is, I think, one thing that a lot of people are terrible at doing, which is unplugging appliances when they go to bed. Now, there's some appliances that you might want to keep in, maybe the broadband or the Wi-Fi box, because you're going to lose signal. But things like printers, laptops, even kitchen appliances should all be plugged out at night, because all appliances drain a small amount of energy when they're plugged in, even if they're turned off. This is sometimes called phantom energy, or as you can see why, vampire energy, as it's sucking out energy. Some sources suggest that up to 15% of an appliance's entire electricity usage is from standby usage. So by remembering to unplug appliances at night, you can really save big on your bills as well. And also as well, remembering to unplug appliances, particularly fairy lights and Christmas lights, is actually good from a safety point of view. So remember to pull the plug going forward on as many appliances as you can. And then our our 8th and final tip to save on your energy bills over Christmas is to look at changing a supplier. So the key thing to remember, as we always say at bonkers.ie, is that energy suppliers always save their best rates for brand new customers, which are often heavily discounted by up to 20 or 30% compared to the rates a longer term customer is charged. So if you haven't switched energy supplier in around the past 12 months, the chances are you're on a higher rate and you could save around €300 in fact by switching. Now, switching energy supplier is quick, it's easy. It can all be done online in the space of a few minutes on bonkers.ie. There's no bills, there's no paperwork that needs to be done, there's no phone calls that need to be made. It really is one of the quickest and simplest bills that you'll ever change. And like I said, you could save around €300. And trust me, your pockets will thank you after Christmas. So that's it. They're the 8 simple steps that we have to saving energy over Christmas. We hope you found them useful. As always, if you want any more information, feel free to head over to our blog on bonkers.ie/blog. We've lots of information on lots of things and lots more energy savings tips. And if you want to get in contact with us, feel free to comment below or contact us over on social media. So that's it for this week. Thanks for watching and see you again next week.